Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final game of this week's Talent League games. It's going to be the minor game, just the one best of one tonight, but it's going to be a barn burner nonetheless. We've got Team Aura versus Teams Guardians Alpha, and I'm Golin Molu. Joining me here for this one, as has been the case as of lately, it's a wonderful friend of mine. It's Pyro, and you
Hey.
know what? We It'd be interesting to see how this one unfolds, right? Team Aura.
Yep. It's close, wasn't it? Because Guardians Alpha played one more game than Team Aura. Aura
Mm.
sitting in 8th position with 1-1-1, so all three across the board. And then Guardians Alpha have those 2 wins, 1 draw and
Yeah.
1 loss. So you could say quite close going into today. That could be a little opinion coming in here, Golo.
Yeah, not a lot separating these two teams, and obviously both will be wanting to pick up the points today. A draw is on the table if it hits that 6-6, but I don't know. I feel like that isn't the most likely of outcomes. I think one team should be able to edge it out over the other, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Before we jump into the game, though, let's throw over to our staff prediction to see
Ooh.
what are the thoughts on this one? What is the consensus on the score lines? And well, would you look at
Deep
that?
on the heat, you know?
There's a quite the swing. Team Aura not really favoured on this vote. 26%. Guardians Alpha at that 74.
We've seen teams upset quite a lot of times when are being lower rated, and this one's,
Yeah.
I mean, 2 of the staff voted for Team Aurora, the rest were Guardians Alpha. So at least you've got that one extra than normal than some of the one-sided votes we do see. So
It,
I
I
think it's
think
going to be a lot closer though. 7-5, 6-6. It's going to be around those regions.
I think it's also fair to say, right, that Guardians Alpha, we saw them play last week against Goldinis, and well, that game could have been a little bit closer. They ended up choking a couple rounds that they had strong leads in. They're a
Yeah.
team that can get these advantages. I think the big thing for me is if they can start to capitalize on these advantages they have and close out these rounds without giving up too many clutches, I think they'll have a good chance at taking on Aura. And Aura, not quite as potent as Goldini's when it comes to individual players just
It's
taking the
Alpha.
game by storm.
Guardians Alpha, not Goldinis there, Golu.
No,
I
I'm
think you're
saying
gonna.
Aura.
Oh!
Aura aren't as individually intensive as Goldini's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not Goldinis, it's Guardians Alpha today.
Yeah.
Goldini's was yes, yeah. Oh, you're talking about the. Oh,
So
okay. I see what
I'm
you mean.
saying,
I see what you mean.
okay,
I see what
okay,
you mean. I'm.
Pyro,
We
the
could
point I'm
we could get
making is that for Guardians
that.
Alpha, in their
Yeah, yeah,
last
yeah,
game
yeah,
against
yeah.
Goldini's, they are now playing against Aura, who have less players who are going to be putting up big threats in 1 versus 2, 1 versus 3 situations. Not that they can't, but it's going to be a little bit safer for Guardians Alpha to,
Yep.
in these situations, to close out.
Yeah. Okay. I finally get you there. Finally my brain's started to compute. It's been a long day, girl. It's been a long day. But we haven't actually talked about the map bands for today and the map what we are playing in this best out of one.
Oh, oh,
Which you want to start with that drum roll again, Golo? You ready for this?
oh, of course.
Boom! We're playing Villa. Villa, I love Villa.
But it's a
Villa's
fun
a good
map.
map. We always see the same sort of stuff though, really, isn't it? It's always pushing for the horizontal side or going for
Mm,
more of a direct take. We've seen a lot more variation,
yeah,
especially yesterday. We saw a lot more variation in the attacks,
yeah,
and we saw a very defensive sided map played out
yeah.
yesterday. It was a 5-1 going on the defensive side, wasn't it? So
It was, but we'll have to see if it's as one-sided this time around. I doubt it, as we're jumping straight into our first and only game of this evening, and it's going to be, well, I'm pleased to see that we get a Villa, right? If it had been something a bit more standard, a bit more typical, could have been a
Powergun.
slower evening, right? But
Could have been a
instead, we're
Powergun.
treated to the wonderful countryside of Italy. I believe it's set in Florence. It's actually the home of the Ezio family from the Assassin's Creed trilogy, which is
Ooh,
quite cool. Did you
a
not
little
know
bit
that?
of game. No, I did. I did know that, but I was giving a bit of an enhancement to it.
Ah, I see, I see. If you fun fact about Villa,
Mm.
that if you look at the into the distance, there's a town and you can see Ezio stood on top of a shrine, like a
You have to
spire.
you have to zoom in quite a lot there, but
Yeah, you need like Carly Sniper to really be able to see it properly. But either way, the ban's going off, and both SAS attackers are off the
I
table
hate the
for this
British.
game. Sledge and Thatcher gone. Sledge is an interesting one, and it makes me wonder if we're going to see a little bit more play of that kitchen dining site. Because, well, then
Yep.
you'd have to resort to, say, a buck or perhaps some breaching charges.
Sophia.
But
Sophia with the breaches, I think, would be
yep, Zofia with the breaches is always an option, but the Cade taken off the table by Guardians Alpha on the defensive side of things. They did remove the Thatcher, and you know what? Trying to find those claws can be a bit of a pain without that EMP, so they're just keeping things a little bit easier.
Yeah, and that Mirror coming out as the last ban, not surprising there at all. Mirror's a very strong operator in this map, especially on that trophy double or that trophy triple wall where you put the Mirror on the middle wall and you open the left hand side towards going into master bedroom, and you open up head holes to the right side of those bathroom walls looking into the closet area. So that's going to be more of a riskier angle to play, let's say, for that, because you can't really watch the bedroom balcony. But talking about this one, we're going up to Aviator Games first. No surprise there. Probably the
Mm,
most played defensive map. The defensive
site.
objective, I should say,
Mm.
on this map. But what's interesting there is a Wamai is coming out.
Attackers need to
I
locate
think,
and defuse
yeah,
as
the
many
Jaeger's
bombs as
actually.
they
So we've
can.
got a Jaeger and a Wamai going on the board here. So they're pretty much expecting that grenade play. But the interesting fact about Jaeger and Wamai is, unless, actually, Wamai not so much, but you can't really stop the grenades from going from below.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting things, right? And I wonder if this is something that we'll see get changed, perhaps reducing the damage that like the penetration through surfaces that grenades do. So you can't maybe you can't kill through surfaces, means you can't kill through walls, maybe not through floors as well.
Attackers have
Something to that
discovered the
effect
location of a
might be
bomb.
able to
10 seconds
sort of
remaining.
resolve this issue that we currently have, where maps like Villa, you can see how much soft floor there is across this whole map. It's just you send someone down below, you
Attackers
time
have
the
moved
grenade
to
well
defuse
enough.
the bomb.
Sometimes you can even bounce it off of the nearby wall just to give you a little bit of room for error, just to make sure you get that kill. But either way, it's so potent, and there's basically no counterplay from the side of a defender. I guess you could try and like hide. We've seen people put ADSs or magnets like hidden on surfaces downstairs below them. But it's always something you've got to be a little bit careful of. Suki, though, going to be the first one to take some aggression onto the side of Aura Esports, onto the side of Guardians Alpha, sorry, as they're on this master bedroom balcony looking to see what they can find. The Mujam are going to be shut out very quickly by Yorji, who's walking in, looking for the first pick. Some damage onto Suki, able to land the shots. It's Antifa who gets the first pick. Well, that's going to be the sign for the Jaeger to drop back down to red stairs and regroup with the team.
They've done that damage here. They don't need to overpeak. You see the player playing on that upside down repellent on the window. If Rosie here peeks out a bit too much, it could be a free picker. I mean, you see the player pushing into Wolf at the moment, so they're definitely droning out on the side of Guardians Alpha, and they might be able to get this kill. No, Ethans gets the kill onto your G, and that's the Yana off the board. Grenades and gun 6 out of the way already, and that puts it down to a 4 versus 4 situation, Golu. But the thing with Guardians Alpha here is they've got a lot of map control here.
They do have enough control. It's just a case of whether they can be a little bit careful of some of these flanks that might come up. They need to get landing, they need to get 90 and start popping open this vault if they want to deny that space to the defenders. Hugeman on the Habana rotating around has that diffuser in hand, which is interesting, because you'd normally expect that player to be coming in towards Zombie Door, where we see Kaz on this ace currently situated. So I'm not sure if they're going to have them rappel in through the window, which could be a little bit risky. Double Claymore being set up just to have a little bit of extra security on the flank, though, Pyro. And with a minute left, Kaz decided he's going to try and hunt down this mute.
It's tough to hunt down this mute as Kaz here, because he's kind of expected to open up that wall. You have got Habana, so you can kind of put it this way, but the gunfight will come out, and Pakamu will actually get the kill onto Kaz. That is a 3 versus 4 situation here. That's the ace with the AK-12 off the board, and more importantly, Guardians have to try and leave this flank, or as you see Antipa here, roam down, and Pakamu gets the second kill onto Antipa there, and that is a 4v2 situation here, Go. Oh, the
second
Claymore!
Claymore, the double baited him out. Habana swings in for the window, will quickly be shut down by the Wamai. Ethan's not going to give up any position here. Jemis in the 1 versus 3 now has everything to find, 20 seconds to do it. And it's looking a little bit dire for the attack of Guardians Alpha here, as he's just trying to pepper in some shots, needs to get that diffuser and start to get a move on. The shield still in position, just Wamai bearing down that long line of sight, and eventually will land the shot as well, peeking around the shield.
Yeah, it was. I think they took way too long on the attack there, just not being able to get rid of that shield that was playing on that game's door, and it was definitely a good roam there from the side of Aura Esports, getting the 2 players from below Pacquiao. He just was slightly unaware of that double claymores. You do see that quite a lot going into these games, don't you, Gola? With the change going into 2 claymores, you see him double stacked on important rotates, and it paid off that round.
Yeah, and right, it's this whole thing of you lay them into a false sense of security.
Yeah.
Because you shoot the first one, and like we saw there from Pakamu, he just didn't expect a second one to be there and walked into it willy-nilly. But now, Aura Esports, they collect that first round, and they did a good job, right? They played their angles well, they didn't overextend themselves, they didn't give up their lives too easily. From the side of Guardians Alpha, maybe you could have asked for a little bit more once they had that landing control, maybe a little bit more pressure, or maybe if they converged on the roamer a bit quicker. But ultimately they gave away those 2 picks, and that really hamstrung them in that round. Now we're going to see the defense of Statue and Trophy, and again we're seeing this Jaeger and Wamai combination. The Thorn coming in though will lend a second deployable shield to the defenders that they can choose to deploy wherever they want. You'd expect to see one on Brick's doorway, just because that's quite standard. And the other one, yeah, maybe Astro, unless they choose to use it on the roam.
Maybe on the 90, maybe if they're going to play it strong on 90, you can hold it from long corridor. I think people call it, I don't know what you call that, the corridor from main stairs to 90, right next to game's door.
Yeah, long.
Yeah,
I think it's just called long and short as the kind of standardized call.
Yeah, so you play it towards the
Classic is another one.
long, but they actually play it on top red here. So they have Suki with the Wamai, which you would normally use if you're doing an AVG hold, which just to prevent them pushing up towards main stairs and having easy access into study. But what's interesting is that other shield though, Golo. Oh, double kill coming out there while we were talking about that, and that's K4 off the board and Antipa. But as I was saying before, is that shield on top of landing?
Yeah, and I think it's just to try and hold down this horizontal approach. They're going for the vertical, though. Yorji finds Suki, and that's, well, the Wamai off the board. Those magnets aren't going to be regenerating anymore. You still have Pacquiao playing inside of Astro, just waiting to see if anyone walks into his lair. No shield to play around means he has to be a little bit more careful. Knows that the Yana is lurking around below him, wants to be aware. Just avoid that hatch too much, because the angles that can be drawn from it, well, they can result in you being shot. Still, though, the attack's starting to slow down a little bit. They found the 2 picks that they want to get that advantage. You've taken the Nitro Cell off the board. You still have those Black Eyes to deal with, but the information game coming from them isn't going to be quite as potent as a wonderful shot from Ethan's. The Jaeger able to find Hugeman taking out the Habana. Still the Maverick on board, but for the most part, your hard breach is gone. Still half the round to play, but Ethan's makes it a double kill, finds Antipa. There's nothing stopping him down.
What is going on with that Jaeger? He's just peeking and peeking. I was going to say, I love this horizontal push that they're doing from the first floor, able to use these grenades, but they're just peeking on that balcony, Golu, and it's just paid off in the wrong kind of ways for Guardian Alpha as they find themselves a man down, and all the control they have at this point is that middle floor. They have to push up the... They have to find a way to push into sight here, Golu. Will they go Astro or will they go red?
Well, I think you have to go Astro. The idea of taking this vertical presence below, right, is you use your grenades, use your explosives to clear out this space behind the desk to force Pacquiao in this position back away from Astro so you can push in. But they have no one on that bathroom doorway to contest it. It looks like red's going to be where they choose to mount their assault. Thorn, the first one, waiting for them to embrace. And, well, the explosives going off. Getting rid of that shield, going to be the signal for them to start walking up the staircase. Got to be careful of this angle. Expects a player to be in that position. Gets the swing, but no! Rosie wins it out and falls back. Yorji off the table. It's all down to Jemis, who now, in another 1 versus 3, has 20 seconds to try and find something for their team. I don't think it's going to be enough, though, as the diffuser dropped outside the master balcony. They're going to need to go for all these kills, take some damage through the wall. That's the shots coming in from Statue, looking to try and poke around in this trophy doorway. Finds the first. It's not going to be enough, though, as that timer is critically low. There's no time to grab that diffuser. They're hiding away. They're not giving themselves up, and the defenders will win round 2.
Yeah, that was a beautiful round on the defense there. The attack started off quite well. They managed to get the 2 picks, but the issue was they slowed down on their mid-forward push. They decided to rotate up to that bedroom balcony where they got the 2 picks, where I think it was the Jaeger of Pacquiao, was it, who got the 2 kills from the concrete door, and that just slowed down their push so much that I either need to commit towards going up that Astro stairs as you were talking about, try and get into bathroom, but don't peek from the balcony. Either going towards the closet or going towards the bathroom window. But yeah, it just definitely slowed down there, and Oro just able to get out that victory. We're just absolutely wasting so much time here. And now we will go down towards that dining and kitchen site here, looking for a top floor hold here, Golu.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by...
Yeah, and well, that's why the sledge ban comes in for Aura Esports, right? They won the first 2 sites very swiftly. They now get to play this one. It's going to be harder for the attack to make good use out of this vertical play because, I mean, you're looking at this site, so much of the floor above it is all soft. Astronomy, all soft. Bathroom, nearly all soft. Master bedroom, soft. Statue, trophy, you know the drill. It's all soft, apart from basically bricks. That's it.
Yep.
The rest of this site can all be opened up, can all be manipulated from above, and that's why you're seeing the investment of utility upstairs from the defenders as well. I mean, Suki and Seal all the way over on the other side of the top floor by Study, just trying to make sure that they have something to protect from a potential horizontal take when the attack come all the way in from Study. More commonly, you'll see attackers focus directly onto the master bedroom because, well, with the need to take up above and then down to site, time can get a little bit costly.
Yeah, if you're doing, you basically got to think of it as if you're doing a horizontal take and then a vertical take. You're basically doing an attack onto the trophy site, and then you then have to attack with the vertical from below Golu. So I can see why they're going for a more of a direct take here. Seal's going to drop to below to enable him to play on that nitro or to go to more of a red stairs take. But we do see that angle we were talking about earlier being into play here. Your G just pushes into master bedroom here, trying to challenge anyone onto that Astro. We do hear the nitro whip, but Your G just shoots that out. The drones are coming out. He knows he's close right where the cam is. Suki's just going to go back towards Astro stairs, but peeks a bit too much there, and Your G gets the first pick from the side of Guardians Alpha here.
Yeah, G upstairs on that Yana, putting in great work with the ARX, looking to see if there's anyone else to find, but all the remaining defenders are downstairs below. The Valkyrie coming in, landing a hefty chunk of damage onto the IQ, a pick which is brought solely to spot these cameras out to prevent the very thing that nearly happened, those Nitro Cell kills coming through. The Ace taking a chunk of damage from Ethan's Vector, as he's just shooting up through the holes that have been made in the floor. You still have Gemis alive on that buck, and with half the round still to play in the hands of the attackers, they can start to manipulate this ceiling, start to adjust where they are. Pacmu going to be able to find the first pick with us, the Ace off the table. You still have Hugeman as a backup hard breacher, but it does make things a little bit more difficult. You want to try and open up this Tetris wall to give yourself access into sight. Are they going to be able to get that done? The first Goyo charge going to be set off in the doorway by Lounge, and just waiting to burn that out. G on a double kill, though, as Rosie falls as well.
Another Nitro goes off, and that takes a lot of damage towards Gemis here. They have got the man advantage of Guardians, but they haven't got any sort of horizontal hold. So you see players like Seal here in living room, who's just watching both of these rundowns from the red and Astro stairs. Could be an influential play here. They do drop towards Hatch, the ping comes out, but there's no damage actually put on there from Pacquiao. He's just going to try and shoot again, but he's not managing to get any sort of damage towards that player who's dropped into the laundry site here. It's actually Hugeman with the diffuser. All they need to do here is watch for a plan. Ooh, just manages to get the head of Pacquiao there. A beautiful shot. They almost have site control here, Golu. It's all up to Ethan's on site. Seal still playing towards that living room side.
Oh, 16 seconds for the attackers to get this plant down as well. The shots from the Vector coming through the floor, getting a hefty chunk of damage onto himself. And he's waiting to see if he can land these shots, but the 4 remaining attackers are covering that plant going down. It's being put down on Tetris, and the angle can't be drawn by Seal. The bomb chassis protecting him perfectly. As it goes down, he sprints straight to site, gets quickly shut down by the IQ covering from the back of Laundry, and now it's all down to Ethan's, who's on 1 HP. A single bullet will take him out, lands the first injure, but it will be quickly shut down by G up above on the Yana.
Yorgi actually got a 3k that round on that Yana. 2 frags on the entry and then that last final kill there. I had a little bit of a bone to pick it. Suki with that. I don't know if it was an accident or on purpose. When he was going down towards that Astro stairs, he popped up for another re-peek and he got his head taken off by your G there. I don't know if that was tactical or that was just a misclick there, Golu. But that was the first pick, which I don't think should have really happened.
It's always hard to say,
is.
but yeah, it is always awkward losing one of your roamers out quite early on. I think it would have been ideal not to, but it's hard to draw the impact, right? It freed up a lot of space on that top floor for the Yana to keep pushing on in, and that was what kind of gave the indicator that the rest of the defense are going to have to fall back
Attackers
down
need to locate and
to the
defuse
middle
as many
floor.
bombs as they can.
And when they had that vertical control, they started applying a lot of pressure. I don't know if that was what solved the round, though. It never felt that the defense were put under too much pressure from Gemis until we saw Bandit getting the floor open up above them, and that was, what, about 40 seconds, 50 seconds left of the round to play?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They kind of gave up on the top floor and then rotated down towards red stairs, didn't they? So it might have given time if Guardians Alpha were able to capitalize on it, which they did towards the end because that vertical play
Bomb
was
located
beautiful.
by attackers.
But
5
2-1
seconds
split
left
going
before
into the
insertion.
first half of the first half. Another double word beat it there, but we're going back towards the AVG and the game site, but a similar sort of setup to what we saw the first round. Golu holding on to the other side, holding on towards Trophy. The only different here is Rosie's going to be playing towards the below section. Never mind, she's going to push up back towards the red and play with, I'm guessing it will be Suki towards that Trophy side there.
Yeah, just looking to see if they can maybe get some early aggression, maybe fake out a spawn peak or catch some drones which have been set up inside the building early on, because while denying as much information as possible is always a great goal. You have that move, you have the Mozzie on the table, the classic 1-2, that you always love to see, and so being able to deny even more information through shooting out these drones, as perfectly demonstrated by Suki, always helps. G already in though, finds the first pick onto the Mozzie once again. Dropping down Astro Stairs is on very little HP, and Tipa still has 3 adrenal surges, so if all of those can successfully be brought up, then that will help to re-bring the Yana into the fray. Jaeger taking a hefty chunk of damage through the wall, just being forced to take that prone position and eventually drop back all the way to study. But now the defense are in, well, a little bit of a more tricky position. You've lost the opening member, you've lost a potential nitro cell. More importantly, you've lost a lot of space early on.
Yeah, it's definitely that space, because now they can rotate, as you see here, rotate towards that 90 window and put pressure on Ethan's here. Actually, he's going to run out here, gets the kill. Will he get the number? No, Huge Bone finally gets the refrag there. That could have been a massive 2 kills there. 2 kills there on that 90 window run out, but for his piece, he gets 1 for 1 there. Still, we've got Rosie on so little help, but what's going different for Guardians this round is they might have enough time to get rid of that shield that's playing on that gate's door.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Haven't got Wamai playing on that position anymore. It's going to be someone else who has to take up that mantle. And with just about a minute left, the frag grenade going to come over the top of Vault to remove the mute jammer. Habana will start to be able to open up the wall. Lovely stuff. And, well, they found the pick onto Rosie. That's the Jaeger going down a 2 versus 4. They should be able to accelerate this, but Pakmu has other plans. He finds the Finker. He's playing tight on the doorway, looking for another. Quickly shut down by the Ace. Seal gets the first canister up on that door. Doesn't know that there's a player on this upside down rappel on the window, though. If they overexpose themselves, they could become a sitting duck. The plant is going down. They hear the swing and they go for the swing. They can't land the shots. They're going to instead go back into bar, try and get into sight, go for a more default denial, but the plant is already down a little bit too late. Now Seal has a very unenviable job finding the remaining 3 picks.
Know where any of these players are. He knows where the 90 windows is, but he doesn't know where the last 2 players are. He thinks one's in study, but no, one's close on that hole there, where the diffuser goes down and Gemis just gets the final kill onto Seal there, ending the round and getting another victory for the attackers. So it's going to be 2-2 here, Golu.
Yep.
Do you know what? I liked how I actually wish Ethan's would have got that 2K when he jumped out. He saw the player on the rappel. I think he was going for that player on the rappel before the first, but then he saw the player who was on the bottom of the window, recovering that window. That player died. He managed to get the kill on that player, and I think he was just about half a second off from getting the kill onto the player who it was Hugeman actually who was playing on that 90 window, who played such a massive role in setting up that attack. I mean, he got the vault door, he got the vault walls open, and he could put the pressure onto the player playing it last time. It was Pacamau who was playing in that 1 versus 3 situation. So if he actually got the 2K there, Ethan's, I think that could have been a very different round.
I guess we won't get to find out what would have happened had he found that kill. He also would have been alive still to impact the round further as well, which is always something you've got to take into account. But now they're going to choose, you know what, we might have failed, but we're going to go back to the site that we didn't fail last time we played it, and that was Trophy and Statue. And it's interesting though, Guardians Alpha have been picking up a lot more steam on their attacks. They feel... They look a little bit more confident now, right? You have G just running in, leading the charge, finding these picks very consistently. And I am a little bit worried that, well, last time they tried to go below, right? If he goes below, if he starts coming up Astronomy Stairs, are they going to be able to play around his presence and shut him down?
I'm not too sure. I think it's definitely been a massive influence on this defense. Ethan's obviously going 7-2 at the moment. If he manages to get the early pick or get at least a retrade off from, I think it's normally your G who goes in and got the entry flag 2 rounds in a row here, Golu. So if he manages to get that pick, I think he will go on an absolute mad tear this round. But Guardians Alpha, that being said, Guardians Alpha are going for more of a direct take for this site here, Golu. Not something I would have expected at least. I'm not sure if you would have.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how this unfolds. Once again, going for that vertical clear down below, and they set up from Aura. They're repeating their hold, going all the way across this top floor. It will give them a little bit of flexibility when it comes time for Guardians Alpha to come up to join them, because they'll have players on both sides of that red staircase to see if, well, if that comes up, they'll have more than one angle to worry about. The sprays from Thorn, though, coming through the wall. It's actually going to be Suki who finds the pick onto the Zofia. That's Kaz off the table. And Kazui was trying to get some work done downstairs, but it wasn't quite enough. Gemis a little bit cautious of anyone sneaking around. Yorji waiting down by China doorway to, again, just see if any of these defenders are going to come down to challenge them. But for the time being, Aura Esports are quite happy to sit tight and wait.
They've got that man advantage, haven't they? So they can let Guardians Alpha push them in unfavorable angles. You've got basically two angles when you push up towards Astro Stairs you've got to deal with. You've got the split door, which is going towards that triple wall, and you've got the rotate, and anyone even playing towards bathroom or behind the blue boxes to contest with, and the hatch. There's so much stuff that Aura Esports can watch and force Guardians Alpha into unfavorable positions. A bit of aggressive play there from Suki, getting picked out by Hugeman, just pushing into the bedroom area, trying to get rid of those Sabana charges. Jemis gets a kill on Ethan's with a grenade from below. Yeah, again, we're seeing that soft destructibility working in the favor of the attackers with these grenades, Golu.
Well, now they have to be a little bit more cautious, right? Only 3 players remaining. Make that 2 as Hugeman finds another pick. That's the smoke off the table. That's Astronomy cleared up. That's the sign for the attackers to start to flood the site. There's still 30 seconds for them to play around with here, as Yorji in the gunfight takes a lot of damage, but deals a lot onto the Thorn in exchange. Will land that shot, but it's actually going to be traded out. Thorn finds one. Habana seals the teammate, and Jemis sneaking up the back wasn't quite aware that Thorn might be running around the corner, but the Thorn had no clue where they were, and so it does not matter. They're able to bring home the round, and they take the lead here for the first time.
Yeah, Guardians Alpha were 5-4 down at the early phase of that round. But do you know what was interesting for me was they managed to get 3 untraded kills in a row, Golu, bringing that to a 4 versus 2 with 30 seconds left on the round. And obviously with that, a traded kill going down to a 3 versus 1, and then the final kill onto that last player. That was I wouldn't say a slip up, but a lost round there for Aura, definitely, because it's just disappointed. They had the angles that we discussed about in that round that they could have just sat there and hold, but the aggressive plays from Guardians Alpha definitely played off them.
Yeah, it definitely helps because, well, the trains that they were playing around these long angles they drew, I have to say, I'm a little bit surprised that we
Attackers
saw
discovered the
Suki get
location of a
as
bomb.
aggressive as they did on that cement
Yeah.
doorway, just because, well, they gave up that pick and that gave a lot of freedom, right? Because they're no longer so worried about someone swinging or playing around on the brick's door, just because if you've already lost someone from that position, the chances of having a second player take up that mantle and start peeking out again is drastically lower. And with the breach opened on up, there's a lot of freedom that Guardians Alpha had to take control of the round. And I think control of the round is what we're seeing happen a lot now, right? Guardians Alpha making good use of getting these opening picks and applying pressure to the defense, and Aura Esports are just crumbling under it. The players are getting a little bit restless. They're forcing themselves to take these swings that you really would never recommend taking as a defender, right? Normally the idea is you can play a little bit more patiently, you can take things slower, you wait for the attack to come to you. That's not quite how it's playing out for the side of Aura Esports. Jemis already getting up towards this wolf window, waiting to be given the all clear by his teammates that he can go on in to get ripping open this floor and redecorating the site. Antifa, though, still looking for those black eye cameras.
Your G's already pushed in. It might be able to get the
Oh
first
my
beautiful
gosh.
kill, but he's just going to run straight into the welcoming arms of Ethan's there. Immediately traded out there for Yorji. Just not being able, I think normally there you'd expect two people to be playing there. Ooh, Rosie just missing a few shots there onto the attacking players going into bathroom. But Ethan's B finally gets traded off by Jemis, I believe that was on the wolf door there. Wolf window, I should say. Seal could get the push up here. They're both going to push up red stairs as well. They were going to before the drones came out, Golu. I was going to say trying to go get back their teammates there of Ethan's, but I think Ethan's has lost it.
Yeah, they have that top floor control. Hugeman finds the pick to accelerate their lead. Ethan's going down for the count. The Goyo finally shut down. And now the Smasher cam upstairs, well, they have ways of dealing with it, right? I'm surprised it hasn't just been punched out. Oh, there's a Nitro Cell waiting for it. This is a very cheeky play. The moment someone walks up to hit it, they'll go boom. But for the time being, it doesn't look like that's going to matter. No one taking that risk to walk up. We'll have to wait and see, though. This is going to happen at some point, and I'm excited to see. But Jemis ripping open this floor, going to force Pakamu out of this spot into Pantry, and if that gets held, he'll be in quite an isolated position. Looks like they're going to give him a potential gap to sneak away. The Nitro Cell's actually been spotted out by the IQ here. That's quite a big thing here. If they can shut that one out, that will make things a little bit less risky. Now they're just waiting to see how this is going to unfold. The explosions going on in the background as part of the wall, part of the floor being opened on up here, Pyro. But for the time being, again, Guardians Alpha taking a little bit of time taking any control downstairs.
It's taken a lot of time to get rid of that Nitro Cell threat there. Finally, one goes off. Seal takes a little bit of damage from that breach charge there, but not too much to worry about here. 35 seconds left. All these vertical angles are being used as the ace gets the kill onto Pacquiao on the bandit there, and now it's a 4 versus 2 situation as Rosie with the castle looks to actually retake vertical play here. A very risky play considering there's 20 seconds left, but does they know that someone was in Astro, I believe? No, they're rotating all of the top end laundry here. Seal's taking a lot of damage previously on site, but the vertical play as now actually he gets the kill onto K4 there. He finally gets shut down from above. And it's a 2 versus 1. Rosie gets a kill from the above angle, but Pant's going down. This could actually be a kill here.
He can't draw the line.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. And yeah, Hugeman is just watching that hatch, waiting for it to be open. That was so unfortunate there. If he manages to get that angle, as you said, onto that diffuser, that could have been easily an aura around there.
Well, that is unfortunate for them, because that would have been a really nice clutch as well from that 2 versus 4 position that they were in, but Guardians Alpha showing what they're made of here and taking commanding control over the first half of the game, and now they get to swap on their defenses. And normally you'd consider the defense to be the stronger or more preferable side on Villa, and I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that statement, right? You're looking at a couple of these sites, both the top floor ones are very appealing to the defenders because there's multiple ways of holding them that can just really put a lot of pace out of the attack, right? You play these long extended setups that we saw Aura try, but they could never contain your G from just walking in and finding kills anyway. How many times did he just walk down through bathroom and just swing onto Suki, specifically onto Suki inside of statue? 3 or 4 times?
It was 3. Yeah, it was the round 3 and 4, and then that final round he did it as well, didn't he? Got the kill every single time as well, which is just mad to think about there. But maybe Suki's going to try and get a bit of revenge here, as they have actually swapped the vols around perfectly. Your G is now on that Wamai. Actually, Ethan's was on Wamai, wasn't he?
No, on this side it was on the line.
Was he on Wamai? So they have actually perfectly swapped around the characters here. But for the site control, what is very different is you see the Tachanka there opening up the right side wall with the castle.
Attackers are
So,
moving out to locate a bomb and
and
defuse it.
that placement of the shield, this is a very interesting strat here, Go. I actually want to see how this will work out.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because this was a strategy that used to kind of exist. You'd open up this wall, you'd extend out into walk-in closet, and you'd have the Jaeger Wamai before Jaeger's mini rework, when his gadget would just catch 2 projectiles and then turn off. It's a bit harder to get this hold to work now because, well, there's just more tools available to the attackers to burn out ADSs. It's a little bit quicker, a little bit more reliable, and generally a bit harder to do. Ethan's, though, going to be leading the charge on the other side of the building, so for the time being, they're going to ignore this walk-in closet, but it will be a threat later in the round because of the angles that can be drawn through the rotate towards where you'd usually want to try and set that plant down. The feet coming through just to try and potentially scan any roamers, but there's no one giving themselves up too early on.
I believe most of them are actually on the site. Yeah, they're doing a full site turtle hold here, Golu. So if you're the side of Aura Esports here, you can definitely use your grenades for your advantage here. You have, what's that, 4 grenades that you can kill from below. K4 getting the first kill onto Ethan's, and that's the Jackal off the board already. That was actually, yes, from the long angle here with that shield. You're just going to use his Shukuyama launchers to deny any sort of push from this landing position here. But as we see the grenades coming out from Rosie here, I don't know if that managed to get the shield. No, it didn't, Golu. This could be actually a very difficult shield to clear. It's finally cleared
As you
out.
say that, it's gone. as classic. I mean, it's interesting use of the Shamika launcher just to stall out as much time as possible by this sofa to enable the defense to fall back into more comfortable positions. Makamu on the rotate, looking to try and apply some pressure on Master side. Still waiting outside of these windows. They might be able to hear the footprints of him walking around, but for the time being, nothing will be applied. The window fronting broken open will be Kaz's signal to jump back behind that castle barricade to this safety position, as the Nomad still poking around at these windows, trying to find something, but none of the defenders are giving an edge. They're all playing very patiently, all playing very reservedly with their lives.
This Shamika launcher usage here from the Tachanka of K4 is just denying Yusuke here any sort of push in. Pakamu has managed to push around towards this bedroom balcony here, trying to get the kill onto concrete. The first kill does come out for Hugeman. It's now a 5 versus 2. Make that a double kill from Hugeman with that LMG. It's all up to Pakamu and Rose, who are both still outside the building. One of them on that Astro Repel and one of them on that balcony. 15 seconds in, the Astro Repel in, but there's 2 angles to hold there. Your G gets the final kill. It's all up to Pakamu on this balcony. He's going to jump in. He does get a kill for his trouble, but it's not looking very good as the Gemis gets the final kill there onto the player playing in that master bedroom. And a beautiful round there for the defensive side.
Yeah, they tried to go something different on the attack. Right,
Yeah.
they tried to open it up, they tried to apply the pressure, but every single time, Guardians Alpha knew their limits. They knew their boundaries of where they could go, where they couldn't go, and they played it perfectly. No one exposed themselves. No one gave up free picks for any stupid reasons. It was a really well-refined round, and I do wonder what would have happened had Aura seen the setup and gone into it head first. Had they started with that closet? Because if they can kill that Jaeger, if they can burn it out, then things would have become a little bit easier for them with that man advantage. But they chose to go for the other approach anyway and still couldn't make it work.
I think if they get bedroom control, they kind of shut off how Tachanka was playing, because you saw, oh, he would pop out, put it on towards that that split door near wall, and would just deny any sort of pushing. And every time he would do that, he'll peek from the rotate and go back in towards bedroom. So if you, as you said, they had the control into that closet area, if they had control of the windows and got rid of that castle barricade, I don't think the Tachanka could have played how he did, wasting that much time on that round, Golu. So, ooh, look at these attacker repicks though. We've got a Nook and a Lion and a Thinker coming out. Nook's very... I like Nook on this map. There's a lot of positions where you can just sneak up. You can sneak up red stairs here and walk into
seconds
site
remaining.
very quickly.
Nook's one of these interesting operators, and I think Repick has done her a lot of favors, right? She has the frag grenade, so she already has that brilliant tool. I mean, frag grenades are one of the most valuable pieces of utility on the attacking side of things. And you can see with just, I mean, how the current meta's evolving. We're in a bit of a frag meta. You're seeing 6 frag grenades. That's 3 sets of 2, sorry, coming out from the attack. Finka, Yana, and now Nook. But with the ability to sneak through cameras and the repick that you have to choose very carefully when you want to bring it, and it's always going to be on your terms, it's interesting to see what teams have kind of pioneered with her, specifically a lot in the NAL, where you see some of these pro teams really lean into it on maps like Bank, which are a bit larger, and you can sneak through the cameras, which are a little bit more spaciously spread out. The same's kind of true for Villa, so sneaking through this basement, you can see what Ethans can get done. All 5 defenders playing around the site, Jemis all downstairs by himself as that pulse, and that's just to be able to use that cardiac sensor to scan out the location of these attackers. The vertical holes set up inside of site so that his teammates actually help him out defend from some of these potential angles coming
bomb
from
has
the
been
attack.
located.
This is where Nook is going to have to watch out because all of these angles are going to prevent him from pushing past it. You see how close Jemis and Ethan's are actually at the moment, and these vertical angles may pay off as a lot of... How can you say, oh, that's so close to getting grenade? It actually does! Ethan's gets the kill onto Antipa there, and that's the Tachanka down. That's no sort of denial already gone. And Jemis has taken a lot of damage. Well, that was from a vertical angle, actually. So it's not paying off too well, these vertical angles at the moment. And if they actually call out to Ethan's where he is, this could be a free pick here from the side of Guardians Alpha.
He's also used his Nitrocell already, which means that he just has the information to relay to his team now, no longer that added value of the explosive. There's Rosie just looking to channel down this long corridor to see if they can find anything. A bit of damage onto Jamis from the splash damage of the grenade from up above. Ethan's now making his way towards main stairs. Has to be a little bit careful of the player playing there, but will quickly shut them down and take them off the table. Aura Esports starting to take a commanding position in this round as Hugeman takes a hefty chunk of damage as well. The Gemini moving into sight. It's going to probe for some information. They'll get a little bit of intel on where these remaining defenders are playing. But there's only 3 left. Jemis downstairs, off of sight. Yorji, the Wamai, has to be the one to lead the charge upstairs, to lead the hold, to command the team, but he's gone down. Ethan's now trying to challenge onto, but Bandit finds 2 quick picks inside of sight. Hugeman doing a great job to keep his team in the round, but it's not enough. The Finker Rosie swings down the corridor, finds one, turns left, finds the second.
Oh, I was actually feeling very bad for Hugeman there, getting that 2k. Beautiful coordination there, but I think the pulse was just way too low there. He was caught out of position. He couldn't really do anything against Ethan's on the Nook. It was just, I don't know. That round was definitely over Esports' round. I liked how Nook played, got the easy grenade kill, and then manages to get another frag from the main stairs. He almost got the pulse as well. So we were talking earlier in the round, weren't we, Golo, about the impact that Nook has, and obviously from that round, it was such a big impact that they have brought him again for this kitchen dining site, which actually may be more useful here.
Yeah. Maybe.
Attackers need to
Maybe helping
locate
them
and
on their
defuse
attacks. But, I don't know, it'd be interesting, right? Because you saw when Guardians Alpha were on the attack, they were leading into this IQ pick as well to help them with the information to protect them from below. That's not being reciprocated from Aura Esports. They're instead choosing to avoid it. They're going to just have to play around Antipa's pulse. It's a risky choice, but there also isn't that many explosives for them to be cautious of, right? I mean, look at the scoreboard, right? You got 2 Nitrocells. How many times will you see teams invest 3, 4 Nitrocells into a defensive hold of this side?
I see 3 quite often if you have a pulse or a Valkyrie. So definitely quite a lot for that side. So I mean 2. It only allows you that little bit of that one error, sort of. You have Pulse with Hugeman, who will get a guaranteed kill, but when it comes Pulse's time to use that grenade, it's a lot... Use that Nitro, I should say. It's a lot harder to do so, because you've got to put away your Pulse scanner, which takes an entire second or 2, and then pull out that Nitro cell, which takes a lot longer than people may think. By that time, your target could have run off.
Absolutely, and, well... Suki and Ethan's leading the charge, just setting their pace very quickly as well. Already up to landing, removing the barricade on the statuary door, and they can start to peek in towards where these defenders might be playing. The drone information being relayed to the location of this pulse. Is that a, well, we'll have to see for now, but Pulse is lurking around inside a memorial. Not quite sure what they're spotting for the time being, but hopefully something useful to relay to the rest of their team as they start to move over towards memorial. This is where, well, this is where you want to be scanning.
But look at the angle you see from Gems just watching onto the pulse. If the attackers of Aura Esports manages to get this position, then you can't play in Memoriam at all, Golem. So you can't lose Trophy site here. They're going to start flashing out and pushing to Statuary, but you have to remember the players on Trophy can also watch that. So you need to do a split push here. We've got the players online, they are going to push in now. The line scan comes out, and that's 2 kills quickly there for the side of Aura Esports. 1 down onto Rosie, made that 3 kills there, and Seal gets a kill onto Gemis. All of a sudden, it's going to go out, but the Nitro might come out here. No kills from that Nitro, and it's a 5 versus 2 situation with 1 minute 15 onto the clock. Make that a 1 versus 5 situation here, Goda. This could be a flawless round coming out the side of Aura Esports, and they're definitely kicking it up a notch on the attacking side here. It's all up to Hugeman in this China Room site. They have droned him out here, so they're going to drop down, and the player of Ethan's from Couches manages to clear up that flawless round there from the side of Aura Esports, and what a round it was.
Yeah, it was a great attack from them. They took good control of landing and all the way up to the top floor very quickly. They didn't expose themselves in doing so. They played very well around themselves in groups so that when they took disadvantageous gunfights, right? You saw Rosie and Suki doubling up on the door into Statue. I believe the Buck was actually injured from the team damage of the Yana, but they both took a bit of damage there. And the idea is that they are each there to support each other. If one alone had gone in, the damage dealt to both of them combined was enough to get a single kill.
Yep.
But by changing it up, by causing some confusion, by disorientating their opponent, they were able to get that frag, able to take that space, and they didn't drop a man. Flawless round in a lovely fashion. And it does start to pose a little bit of a question now for Guardians Alpha. Yes, they had a really good start on their attack, but Aura Esports are picking up momentum, they're picking up rounds, and they're doing the same thing back to them. The change up from lineups here is it's now the Smoke that's returning to the table, no longer feeling that the Tachanka is going to be the optimal approach, but they're going with the same lineup. Yep. And we saw what that Shumika launcher was able to do in terms of the time that it stalled in the Doorwave statue from landing.
I was about to say that. It was literally so long. You spent like a minute and a half just preventing any sort of play from landing, Golem.
5 seconds left.
I don't know if the Smoke could do better. Smoke's your sort of operator that you use for the last 1 minute of the game. You have to use it sparingly, so it's not ideal for cutting off positions for an extended amount of time simultaneously, which the Shumika launchers can do.
Yeah, well, it's 30 seconds compared to 70, right? So you can... The radius is smaller, and yes, you can push through the fire of the Tachanka a little bit more safely than you can the gas of Smoke. It's going to stall you for a lot more time. And really, that's the name of the game, right? You want to stall as much time as possible from the defenders, from the attackers, so that when they try to get that execute down, they are given as little time as possible and they have fewer options. It's interesting to see the holographic on the FMG9 though. I mean, I always think that the 1.5 is a lovely scope to have, and the versatility that it has in terms of it's very usable at close range engagements, but has a little bit of extra precision over those longer distances that can really help. The vertical nades coming through, Rosie nading themselves after nading the shield. That is the start that Guardians Alpha were hoping for, the first pick.
Yeah, they're definitely a first pick, and on such an influential player as well, going 7-6 with the recharges on the health. The grenades obviously were taken out, and the Gon 6. It's just a massive pick from the side of be taken away from the side of Team Aura. And you have this interesting player there of Gemis. Oh, what a kill from your G. He's just going to down Seal there. He can be picked up, but he's going to be put down to 20 health there. Just managing to swing out and back in from that bathtub.
Liking the ADS juggling coming out from Gemis to hold on to walk-in. Lion trying to throw these flashbangs in, ends up flashing themselves, and now trying to take the swing very aggressively. They're running out of utility to burn it out with still 4 stuns and 2 frags, but kill, with all the magnets still being on the table, with the ADSs all reset, that's not actually enough to burn through it. Ethan's on the other side of the map, definitely not going to be able to help burn through it, as he's trying to pressure in towards Statuary. Kaz taking this gunfight, a little bit of damage exchanged, and Suki's the one to land the final blow. The FMG-11 still in play. The FG9 still in play on Ethan. He's probing in through Strophy, looking to see if he can find anything. Suki leading the charge, going straight on in, finding one pick. And now going on for Walk-In, finds a triple kill in the round so far. The plant's going down behind him, but Hugeman comes in big. The double kill for him in the round so far, and he knows where that diffuser's going down. He's going to be looking to find it off. All the injure onto pack move from Antipa, and now it's down to the 1 versus 2. Seal all by themselves on such little HP to try and get the job done, and they're going to be swung. They're going to lose the gunfight to the castle, to the UMP 45, and to the defenders.
It was definitely, there was 2 key plays that went on that round. You had that Suki with that triple kill, just pushing in, managing to get 1, 2, 3 all at the same time. But on the other hand, you had Hugeman going with that huge double kill, just managing to even up that man count. And when they're trying to get defusers down Golu in a high pressure situation, most of the time the defenders are going to come out on top in that situation, and that is what we saw just occur then.
Yep, that's how it played out. And now Guardians Alpha, they get to chill back just a little bit. Right, they're at that match point, but that's no reason to take your foot off the gas. You want to make sure that you finish this map as swiftly as possible. You don't want to give your opponent the opportunity to bring it back to a tie. But we should remember, right, Pyro, that this map doesn't go to overtime. It will end at 12 rounds no matter what. So by hitting 6 rounds first, Guardians Alpha guarantee themselves a point on the standings. Aura Esports really don't want to go away with nothing here, so finding these next 2 rounds is going to be critical for them. Can't return to Trophy or Statuary Guardians Alpha. It's going to have to be, well, Aviator Games is the current site for this round, and then it would be back to that kitchen. Both of these sites, Aura Esports, have one on the attacking side. They know what they need to do. The question is, can they do it twice?
I don't know. I mean, it was pretty convincing rounds from the side of Aura on these 2 sites, but there was a lot of mistakes that happened from the side of Guardians Alpha, which I think could be fixed to give them that round. Obviously, Aura Esports bringing out that nook of Ethan, who was such a massive influential player last time they were on this site with that grenade from below and that kill on towards main stairs Golu. So I'm looking for something similar from Aura Esports here, using the Lion, using the nook to prevent any players from moving around and to prevent this pulse, which we see here, who could actually get a run out if he's feeling ballsy enough, but you have to be careful of Ethan's on the kitchen, who will get a free kill if he realizes where the player is, if they drone him out. That is the key thing, though.
Yeah, I don't think you want to risk it too much, right? You're at match point. There's no reason to overextend, to push your luck too much, but it is quite fun as we see Jemis and Ethan's both creeping around this bottom floor, neither aware of each other's location. It's kind of like a maze of sorts, right? They're both just wandering around, hoping they don't bump into each other. Well, maybe they are hoping. They're just hoping that if they do, that they're the one that wins the gunfight. Rosie, though, already has control of 90, and well, with just over a minute left, more than half the round to play, I'm interested that they're able to take this space so quickly. Guardians Alpha choosing not to contest on the master side of the map at all.
Yeah, that LMG just coming out from Rosie, they're not able to find the player pushing out from that game's wall. But this could come in contact very easily if Ethan's just running around, making so much noise, but Jemis just, he either doesn't hear or he's pointing his direction in the wrong way.
Waiting for the late game.
He is waiting for the late game, but that could have been a very easy free kill there, Golu, which I think Jemis is waiting for that Nitro Cell kill on towards that 90. If he goes towards that 90 side, he could get 2, maybe 3 kills for free.
This could be big if he lands the target. The knock exposing themselves, turns to get some damage on the pulse, but it's not enough. Too little, too late. The first kill goes in favor of Guardians Alpha, and they'll continue to extend their lead. It looks like he's not going to lurk below for the cardiac sensor, instead coming up the flank behind them. this could be a very interesting option for him. He does still have that nitro cell available, but by hitting everyone in the back, he can make best use out of that gun. And while it's not the most capable gun, you should never sleep on it. Yorji holding on tight on this zombie door, waiting to see if Jemis is able to land the shots. Diana swings in, quickly shut down Suki off the table. Jemis dropping down after getting some damage, and Yorji using the chaos to find yet another pick. Rosie inside a study all alone, quickly shut down by Kazawi. And now it's all down to Pakamu. He needs to complete the 1 versus 5 ace clutch in 14 seconds if he doesn't want to lose, and never mind. Yorji gets a triple kill in the round to close things out, to seal the deal, and Team Guardians Alpha take the map.
And take the map in convincing style with that flawless victory at the end, Golu. That's the most important thing there. A beautiful, beautiful defensive round there. Just cutting off, getting the first pick on towards that Nook. And then instead of actually going for the Nitro, which could have been a risky play, he went towards the rotate, which actually took a lot of time away from the defense, the attacking side there, which I think definitely set them apart there. But a 7-4 victory there for Guardians Alpha, and it went the way of what the staff predicted, but it was a lot closer than what we thought. I predicted 7-5, 6-6, so I was only one round off. So, and definitely at the start, it was looking towards Aurora's way, weren't it? I mean, they went 2-0 up, and then it just collapsed.
Yeah, they had a good start on their defenses, but they couldn't see it through for the rest of them, and Guardians Alpha picking up 4 rounds in a row was exactly what they needed. But with that said, we can, well, see the new standings. With Team Guardians Alpha picking up that win, they rise meteorically all the way up to 3rd spot in the standings. 10 points they have now acquired this season from the 5 games that they have played. Team Aura still struggling for grip towards the bottom at an Esports, tied on 4 points with them. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out, because you do not want to be in that relegations position. But I guess we'll have to wait until next week's playdays to figure out exactly how these two teams are going to fare.
I actually feel really happy there for Guardians Alpha on the same amount of point as Goldinis, although they have got a game advantage. So you have to compare them to teams like Team Invictum and Yod Esports, where they've got an extra win over Yod Esports. So definitely gonna be either in 3rd or 4th place coming towards the end of this towards next week, and when all the games are played, 5 gameplays, as Team Guardians Alpha on 10 points, Lawless on 8 but with 1 game in hand, and teams like Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs can also tie up with Team Guardians Alpha. So they're definitely at a minimum in the top 5 positions here, Golu. So congratulations to them, and well played for today's game against Aura Esports.
Well, there is no major game this evening. It's just the one that we're treating you for tonight. So, you know what? That kind of wraps everything up. It's been a lovely little game that we've been able to watch, and Team Guardians Alpha thoroughly deserve the win. But, well, I've been Golu Molu. This has been my good friend, Pyro. And we've had some wonderful observing and producing from Trippin. Thank you, Trippin. We love you very much.
Thank you very much.
And, well, that'll be everything for this evening. So have a lovely week. Make sure you're back next Monday, same time, to enjoy the start of the week break, actually, isn't it? We got a week
off for next week.
So
Trippin
not this
was
week.
too tired. He's got to have a week off here. So
I'm too tired. I need a week off. But okay, no games next week. The week after, we will be back. So make sure you keep posted to see what's happening then. Enjoy a week. Have a lovely week. Enjoy your time off. No obligation to keep up with the games, but make sure you're back when the week is over, or I'll be angry. But in all seriousness, have a lovely week. Have a lovely time. Have a lovely evening. And that is everything for tonight's stream. Take care.